So nice to be here among friends for a change. I'm Vera Faith Lord. Today, as I speak to you, I have the honor of representing millions of my sisters. Our sisterhood is not a happy one. We are post-abortive mothers, and I am here to tell you a small part of our story. 25 years ago, my precious baby son Gabriel was kicking and sucking his thumb and doing all the things that babies do at 21 weeks preborn. He never reached 22 weeks, he died. For 15 years after my baby's death, I was not allowed to grieve, to mourn, or to even acknowledge that he died. Indeed, while living with the agony of his death, I was not even allowed to admit that he had ever lived. This awful sentence was imposed upon me by myself and by our politically correct culture, because you see, Gabriel didn't just die. I paid to have him killed. The maternal instinct is stronger than survival. There are thousands of examples of mothers sacrificing their own lives to save their children. Well, that maternal instinct, the strongest known to humanity, is alive and well in all of us who are female, whether we want it or not. What we think or don't think simply does not matter. Shortly after the abortion, at some point, the maternal instinct appears in full force. There is one awful moment where we truly know what we have done, no matter what politically correct nickname we've given abortion. In that few seconds, we know that we have committed the most unnatural of acts. We have killed our own offspring. It's like putting your hand into fire and holding it there. Everything in you wants to run away, and that's exactly what we do. We spend the rest of our lives running away. If only we really could run away, but we can't. And the reason that we can't is that we have a dead baby. No less than the mother whose baby dies in any other way. The fact that we participated in the killing does not make the baby any less dead. When someone close to you dies, you must acknowledge, grieve, and mourn that death. If you cannot, you are in serious, serious psychological trouble. The psychiatrists call it impacted grief, and it's a very big part of post-abortion syndrome. The silent scream shows us a baby screaming silently as he dies in agony. Well, we are post-abortive mothers, and we're in agony too, only we're not only silent, we're invisible. And some of us are doubly invisible because it seems like we're doing so well. We all reluctantly chose abortion for 1,000 reasons so that our lives would not have to change. And here's the great irony. From the second that our babies died, our lives in 1,000 ways have never ever been the same. If you are a woman 45 years or younger today, statistics say there is a 43% chance that you have had at least one abortion. We are everywhere. We are your mothers, your grandmothers, your sisters, your nieces, your friends, your associates. We are all around you. There are many of us right here today. Every single one of you who hears my voice knows someone who has had an abortion. If you are thinking that you don't know someone, there's only one reason for that. You don't know who it is yet. When someone is sentenced to life in prison, their life and the lives of everyone close to them changes forever. Everyone who chooses to kill her own offspring is sentencing herself to life in the solitary confinement cell of post-abortion syndrome. Denying that she's in that prison is not going to make those bars melt away. There is a way out. It's a healing process. One of the necessary healthy steps in that process is to name the baby who has died and to finally acknowledge and mourn their death. I named my son Gabriel. About a year after my healing process began, I was watching a young mother carry a baby boy through a doorway. He was about a year old. He hit his head on the side of the door, and he started to shriek as only a one-year-old can shriek. She put him down in front of her, and she started rubbing his head, and she said, "Oh, Mommy's so sorry you hit your head." and immediately the shrieking stopped. She had made it all better. Well, I thought nothing of it at the time, but it registered on my subconscious, and about 8 hours later, I found myself on the floor in my apartment, on my knees, sobbing and talking to my son and saying, Gabriel, Mommy is sorry. Mommy is so sorry. You have no idea what that feels like. So now you know the dirty little secret behind that door that they call choice. The baby is not the only one who dies. Big parts of his mother's soul die right along with him. It may look like I'm standing here by myself today, but if you look with your heart, you'll see that there's a big, tall, 25-year-old young man standing right here with me. His name is Gabriel, and he is the young man that my son would have become if only his mother had not chosen to kill him. What I want you to do is to help him and help me, help us, to make abortion not just illegal, to make it unthinkable. Thank you for listening.